You're here because you value giving back to the causes you care deeply about. But the way you deduct charitable contributions is about to change in a big way, especially if you give 10% or more of your income away annually. Starting in 2026, the rules get tougher, and every dollar of giving to charities will be worth just a little bit less at tax time. That means 2025 is a rare window of opportunity, a chance to maximize the impact of your generosity and give tax efficiency a great opportunity before the door closes. Today, Ben and I are going to unpack 3 strategies that you should look at right now. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss this.
Welcome into Legacy Beyond Wealth. I am Ben George with Rob Shelton at Axio Wealth Management. You can find them online, axiowm.com. I know, taxes are a big part of planning, Rob. And I know there's an opportunity right now, which is why we're talking about this, right? Because there are some rules going to be taking effect in 2026.
Yeah, part of the big bill that was passed back, in July. It's been interesting trying to understand that and unpack it and see what impact that really has upon business owners and clients. And, in 2026, it's really going to be an impact upon those that have a high income or a successful business and like to give back. I hope none of that ever discourages anyone from giving back because I've always loved the saying and have lived by it that, it's more than just making a living. It's about making a difference. We find a lot of business owners want to make that difference. And part of that is giving back to the causes they care about. But with these changes, it's always been nice in the past to get the tax benefit along with giving back. And now it's going to change just a little bit and be tweaked a little bit for some out there.
All right, so it's going to be a good topic today and one that I think will help you long term if you're paying attention to making the changes that you need to be making this year. So before we get into strategies, Rob, let's just kind of talk quickly about what is actually changing in 2026.
Yeah, so there'll be a floor now based off of your adjusted gross income. So what they'll basically say is the first 0.5% of your adjusted gross income, you won't be able to deduct anymore if you're itemizing. Where in the past, you were able to get that deduction. And so that's going to have a little bit of an impact that you won't get that deduction. The other is for those that are in the highest of tax brackets, the most you can deduct will be 35%. Where you might be taxed at a 37% tax rate. So the higher up you go on that income tax bracket, it could have a bigger impact upon you and what you're able to deduct as far as taxes go. And then, that's just brought about the opportunity for people to really look at their giving strategies and maybe look at some strategies that might be there that could help them to just make that giving tax efficient in 2025 before they lose that opportunity in 2026.
So starting in 2026, your giving is still generous. That we don't want to take that away from you. Giving is still a great opportunity to help others out, but it might be less efficient.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not going to make a mountain out of a molehill. It is an issue, but the great thing about it, I don't think anyone likes to pay more than their fair share of taxes than they have to. And so taking a look at these different strategies will really give you the opportunity in 2025 that can set you up to have some great ways to still give and get some good tax benefits this year. And that's one thing that we've made a big priority every year in the third quarter with our clients that do give to charities to really look and maximize that strategy that's going to be best for them that year and looking forward as well.
So as we jump into these strategies, remember, you can always schedule a discovery call. Lasts about an hour, but a great opportunity to learn more about Axio Wealth, but let them also get a better idea of your picture, your goals, what your needs are financially. But the first strategy here then, Rob, is that donor advised fund. Talk about how that can benefit you and I guess maybe what it is first for those that aren't aware.
Yeah, so donor advised fund has been a tool we've used for many years with clients. And a lot of, unfortunately, successful business owners aren't aware of this avenue or this strategy to be able to use. Basically, what it is it's a fund that's created that's set up by a couple. And what they can do is donate money into that account. They get the tax deduction the year that they donate to it, but it's kind of like a health savings account where you put money in and it gets deducted and you leave it in there for healthcare expenses in the future. Kind of the same thing for charities. You put your money in there with the charitable intent. You get that deduction the year you do it. but then you can allow that money to be invested inside that account and let it grow tax free. And as long as it makes its way out to a charity, it's going to be tax free as well. So taking a look at that strategy for this year, if you're looking to be able to give to charities, maybe it makes sense now to give a little more to a donor advised fund this year, get a little bit bigger of a tax deduction, and then you can control in future years when you give that money to whatever charitable cause you're looking at, whether it be a church or Red Cross or Make a Wish or any of those other great charities that are out there that really make a difference in communities. A couple of these that we're looking at right now for clients, just to give a few examples, are one client that we have that's selling a really big real estate transaction. And while they're doing some tax strategies to reinvest into real estate, they wanted to take some of that money to be able to do other things with, but that could create a tax problem. But because they have charitable intent and give on a regular basis to a charity, we're going to take a good chunk of money and donate that into a donor advised fund in 2025 that will really save them quite a bit of money. And then in the future years, they can be able to use that to donate to charities out there. So that donor advised fund has a lot of power to donate now, get the deduction today, and be able to benefit charities in the future.
All right, so that's a great first strategy to consider. Again, if you haven't thought about that or want to get a better understanding of how it can apply to your situation, please don't hesitate to reach out to Axio Wealth Management. All right, strategy two, Rob, what would be the next thing to consider?
Yeah, sometimes people look at that and go, "Well, I'm not necessarily wanting to set up a fund and do that." So if you're not looking at that, another strategy you can do is what we call bunching strategies. And what that means is you bunch your contributions up to make a bigger contribution in one year, get a bigger tax deduction, and it have a better impact on your taxes than just giving every year the same amount to the same charities. So, in instance, you have a charity that you care about and you want to give money to them over maybe a 2 or 3 year period, it'd be better to give a bigger amount in one year, wait a couple years, then give another bigger amount to them. And that way you're able to have more of a tax savings because you're giving a larger amount in a single year to really take advantage of those tax savings. So instead of consistently the same amount every year, maybe you group those together and give a bigger one in one year and then wait for a couple of years and save up and then give another bigger amount another year down the road as well.
Okay, so you still get that tax advantage, but the nonprofits or whoever you want to donate that money to still is able to get that stability from those donations.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think it really, whether one strategy is better than the other, depends upon your overall goal. And I guess maybe we should have started off with that is you need to sit down with your advisor and talk about what your charitable goals are. What are you trying to be able to accomplish? And then that advisor can be able to help guide you as to whether that's best to do a donor advised fund or if a bunching strategy would be best for you.
Okay, very good. So that's the second strategy to consider here before the end of the year. What about strategy three?
Yeah. So one other thing that you want to take a look at is looking at your deductions and how can you be able to maximize other ways to be able to save money through other strategies that are out there. So if you're a business owner, that might be looking at opening up a retirement account because maybe you were looking at other strategies that were out there more as taking that deduction as an itemized deduction for the charitable deduction, but maybe you don't get that now as much as in the past. So look at other opportunities for those deductions. So to sum that up, if you don't want to change your giving strategy that you have now and you want to give consistently, talk to your tax advisor and your financial advisor about what other strategies could you do because maybe I lost one benefit over here, but I could pick up another benefit somewhere else that would have the same or maybe even a bigger impact for you tax wise.
Yeah, that's an important one to remember, the impact there. So what should families keep in mind then, beyond just that tax piece?
Yeah, I mean, tax laws are going to continue to change on and on. I mean, it's part of just being in life, right? I think we always say that saying there's only one thing constant in life, and that is change that's going to happen. I think the biggest thing is to be able to make sure that those changes don't change who you are and who you want to be and what your goals are. That should be the constant that's out there, and work with those financial professionals that can help you adapt in different areas of your life, but it doesn't have to change who you are and what you give and the causes you care deeply about.
Are you ready to unlock the freedom to live your best life? Schedule your no-cost 60-minute discovery meeting with our team today. During this session, we'll take the time to understand your family's story and financial dreams. Together, we'll craft a personalized roadmap designed to help you achieve your goals. Let's explore how we can unlock the freedom for you and your family to thrive. Just click the link in the description of today's show to get started.
Yeah, that's well said, Robin. I think that's so important to remember. And look, again, you kind of think about, I think some people might feel bad trying to think about different strategies because they might feel like, hey, maybe I'm gaming the system a little bit, but you're really just trying to align that generosity with strategy, right?
Exactly. I mean, this isn't, at the end of the day, if your only goal is to save on taxes, you're going to be chasing a lot of different things out there and never really taking control of your life. That's where you allow taxes to take control of your life. Where you want to look for is that alignment from where I've defined the life I want to be able to live with. Now, how do I overlay that with the tax strategy? And in this case, if it is charitable intent and giving back to charities, this is a year to be able to look at maybe doing things just a little more different before those things expire in 2026.
Again, you can get in touch. All the contact information is in the show description. You'll be able to find it there. But take advantage of that discovery meeting and learn more about how Axio's tailored approach to finance and their collaboration with all the people they work with can really help you and benefit you as you try to provide for your family and build that wealth for generations to come. Again, you can get in touch, axiowm.com. And Rob, any kind of final thoughts to wrap this one up?
Just take a look at that. Make sure you're defining that life you want to live. And if that charitable intent is there, make sure you seek the advice to take advantage in 2025.
Well said. Well, we appreciate you watching this. Hopefully this gives you some action items for the rest of 2025. Again, take advantage, act now, and make sure you're getting the most out of your money, but also those that you want to help will as well.